Every revolution creates winners and losers. AI is not different. While some people will build wealth faster than ever, many jobs may disappear quietly. Today, we explore the truth behind the AI job paradox.
All right, let's talk about something that's on everyone's mind. It's this source of both incredible excitement and, let's be honest, a lot of anxiety. We're going to dig into what I'm calling the AI job paradox.
I mean, this is the big one, right? Is AI coming for your job? It's the question being whispered in offices, shouted in headlines, and it's not some far-off sci-fi thing anymore. It feels very real for millions of people. And the numbers? Well, they show just how deep this worry goes. Get this, 74%. According to a recent Microsoft survey, that's how many Indian workers are worried that AI could replace their jobs. Think about that for a second. That's nearly 3 out of every 4 people you work with. This isn't just a little bit of background noise, it's a huge cloud of anxiety hanging over the workforce. So, where's all this coming from? Well, a lot of it is coming from what you could call the doomsday narrative. It's a story we're all hearing, and it's being told through some really alarming headlines and some pretty stark statistics. Honestly, they paint a kind of grim picture of our future at work. And this is where the fear gets concrete. This isn't some vague prediction. Industry trackers are showing this is happening right now. You've got major companies, we're talking giants like IBM and Microsoft, announcing layoffs and hiring freezes, and they're pointing directly at their big shift towards AI as the reason. And if you zoom out to the global picture, the scale is just staggering. Projections are suggesting that by 2030, AI could displace as many as 300 million jobs. Now, on the flip side, it's also expected to create about 69 million new ones. But that huge, massive gap between the jobs lost and the jobs gained, well, that's what's really fueling all this anxiety. Now, for India, this whole story hits especially close to home. I mean, the country's IT industry is a massive part of the economy, and it's home to the world's largest community of software developers. It's basically ground zero. Why? Because a lot of tasks in this sector are repeatable, they're codifiable, exactly the kind of work where AI is making its first and biggest moves. But hang on a second. Is this fear, is it really new, or are we just hearing echoes from the past? To really get what's going on, you have to look back. Because, as it turns out, we have absolutely been here before. Every single major tech revolution has kicked up these fears of mass unemployment. You go back to the 15th century, the printing press was going to get rid of all the scribes. Fast forward to the Industrial Revolution, and hand weavers were terrified of textile automation. Even in India, when computers first showed up, there were labor strikes over worries about clerks and typists. History is just full of these moments. Economists actually have a name for this whole process. They see it as a kind of tug-of-war between two forces. On one side, you've got the displacement effect. That's the scary part, where AI automates tasks humans used to do. But on the other side, you have these countervailing forces. Things like huge productivity gains and, most importantly, the creation of totally new kinds of jobs. Stuff we can't even imagine yet. And here's the kicker. The printing press didn't just end scribe jobs. It created millions of new ones for printers, writers, librarians. Computers didn't just replace typists. They literally gave birth to the entire software industry. So the big lesson from history is this. Every single time we've predicted that technology would lead to permanent mass unemployment, we've been wrong. So this suggests that maybe we're having the wrong conversation. Maybe it shouldn't be about a future without jobs, but a future where jobs just look completely different. The real focus needs to shift from job loss to job transformation. You know, a report from Nini Ayog puts this perfectly. It frames it as a 3-part transformation. AI isn't just one simple change. It's changing the very nature of the work, which then changes the role of the worker, and that ultimately reshapes the entire workforce. Okay, so let's break that down. First up, the work itself changes as AI starts automating all the routine, boring stuff. Second, that means the worker has to change, developing new skills for totally new kinds of roles. And third, all of this leads to a new kind of workforce, a hybrid one, where humans and AI are working together on integrated teams. It fundamentally changes how companies are even structured. So, if it's all about transformation, what does that actually look like on the ground? Which jobs are most affected, and where are all these new opportunities popping up? Well, the data shows a really clear pattern. We're seeing demand go way down for routine jobs like data entry clerks and manual testers. But at the same exact time, it's absolutely surging for roles that, let's be real, didn't even exist a few years ago, like prompt engineers, whose whole job is to talk to AI models. You can see it, right?
It's a direct shift away from rote tasks and towards jobs that manage, guide, and collaborate with AI. Now, it's important to remember this transformation isn't happening evenly across the board. For India's tech sector, the exposure to AI is really high, so things are changing fast. But for the vast majority of India's workers, we're talking over 80% who are in the informal sector like agriculture or construction, their direct exposure to AI is still pretty limited. For them, the biggest risk isn't being replaced by AI, it's being left behind and excluded from the massive productivity gains AI offers. So, what's the game plan? How do we navigate this new world? How do we get from this place of fear to a place of being ready, of being future-proof? Well, the answer isn't fighting the technology. It's all about leaning into the things that make us uniquely human. The whole focus is shifting to skills that AI can't replace, but can actually make better. We're talking about things like creativity, complex problem solving, and empathy. An AI can analyze 1 million spreadsheets in a second, sure, but it can't lead a team with a real vision, it can't mentor a junior colleague, and it definitely can't connect to the customer on a truly human level. These are the skills that are going to define the high-value jobs of the future.
So at the end of the day, the story of AI at work isn't an apocalypse movie. It's a redefinition. It's a challenge for all of us to evolve beyond doing routine tasks and to embrace our most human qualities. The question is no longer if AI will change our jobs. The real question is,